the crocuses and daffodils emerging. So spring energy starts in the first week of February. And according to the Qigong reckoning, the vernal equinox is the middle of spring, not the beginning of spring. So perhaps you can already feel the energy of spring yourselves, and kind of a reawakening and reinvigorating. Although it is, of course, not excluded that we could have another bout of winter, a snowstorm or something. Not that I have any knowledge of anything coming up. Now bring your feet together and we'll loosen up the knees. And reverse directions. Okay, now we'll do the ankles. Change direction. And now the other foot. And change of direction. Okay. Okay, so let's start off with thinking about using the sound for liver. And since we'll just be working on the liver sound, let me show you a couple of the enhancements we can add to the use of the sound with the liver. So remember that the liver is here, and if we stand, well, of course you can do this sitting or lying down as well. If we stand and breathe into the liver and imagine that we feel the liver being filled with clean, clear, healing qi. And as we breathe out of the liver, imagine that we're releasing heat and stale qi into the surrounding fluids and tissues. Next to the liver, that's the interstitial fluid and the interstitial tissues. Also, releasing heat and qi out through the mouth. And that's why when we use the healing sound, we need to use the sound of no sounds. So make the sound very softly to avoid tensing up the throat and blocking the release of the qi through the throat. So you can start off with just imagining for a few breath cycles, breathing into the liver and breathing out stale energy and heat. Now let's add an enhancement. Green is the color associated with the liver and the spring season and the wood element. It's because wood is the element or phase of new growth and plants is usually the color of the green leaves that they begin to sprout. So imagine breathing in green qi. So if you visualize that there's green in front of your face, and as you breathe in, breathing in cool, clear, well, not clear anymore, cool green qi, and filling the liver, and then exhaling again, stale qi and heat. Breathing in green qi. Okay, now let's add another enhancement to this exercise. Anger and frustration are the emotions associated with the wood phase and the liver organ. So as we exhale now, let's imagine that we're breathing out the stale qi, breathing out heat, breathing out any feelings of anger and frustration. And as we inhale, we can continue to visualize breathing in green qi. Breathe in green chi, filling the liver. Cool, pure green chi. Exhale, breathing out, stale chi, heat, any feelings of anger and frustration. In and out. Okay, now let's add the sound. And the sound, of course, is shu. Shu. So if you see this written, if you have a Qigong book, you'll see it written in as XU, that's pinyin. And the X in pinyin is pronounced like SH. So XU would be shu. And if we make the sound at the end of the U, curl the edges of the lips up slightly. Not so much that it causes your throat to tense up, but just slightly curling up. Okay. You can keep the green chi. You can keep exhaling anger and frustration if you still feel like there's some feelings that you need to get rid of. And as we exhale, we'll add the sound shu. So breathe into the liver and breathe out. Shu. Remember, sound is very soft, a sound of no sound. In. Shu. In. Shu. And remember, you feel the sound resonate in the liver, which will enhance the release of the heat and the stale chi into the interstitial fluids and tissues, also out the mouth. And one more. Okay, questions on that use of sound? The color can be used by itself, breathing in green chi and breathing out stale chi. Or you can add emotions, breathing out negative emotions, and you can add, of course, the sound. Or you can do the sound by itself without the color or the emotions. Remember, this is this routine uses both internal and external exercise. The external exercise is that we're bending to the sides, and then we're bending backwards and forwards, and then we're bending all the way down, like so. Bending the knees, lifting the ball up over the head. So that's the external, the way done. part of the exercise. The internal is that we're stimulating the flow of qi in the liver channel using the magnetic bioelectrical current in the Lao gates to enhance the flow of qi using Faraday's law of magnetic induction. So part of it is stimulating the qi flow in the channel is the circling in each direction on the liver 14 point, located right below the nipple, approximately right here. Google liver 14 image and you'll find very detailed information on exactly where this point is. Then we do the same thing on the liver 13 point, approximately here. Then was going from 14 to 13, rubbing the hands down the liver channel, like so. And then after we bend backward and forward, we're going to run the hands down the liver channel and point the middle finger to the liver 1 point, Da Dun, which is at the base of the big toenail on the outer corner of each of the nails. So the middle finger is an extension of the energy in the Lao gate. It's a continuation of the pericardium channel. And remember, in a healthy person, the Lao is always full of energy. Okay. I think that covers the important details of both the external and internal elements of this exercise. So here we go with Qigong for easing the liver. Okay. So imagine you're holding a ball between your hands, your feet about hip-width apart, toes pointed straight ahead. So we lift the ball up over the head. We connect the Lao gates with the Bai Hui gate. And just breathe normally here. So exhale at this point. But after that, breathe normally. We pass the eyes. When we pass the stomach 12, which is above the collarbone along the mammillary line, we place the palms on the liver 14 and we circle 6 times in each direction. Mind underneath the palms. Now, holding the palms over the liver 14, we bend 4 times to each side. Now we'll slide the palms down along the liver channel to liver 13 and we'll circle 6 times in each direction. Then we'll slide the palms down to just below the navel, and we'll have the Lao gates line up like this. We'll bend backward and forward 3 times. And slide the palms down along the inside of the legs, along the liver channel. And point the middle finger to liver 1. The base of the big toenail, the outside corner. We'll hold this for about 10 seconds. Then bend the knees and lift the ball up over the head again. Okay, like so. Now let me ask at this point questions about any part of this exercise, or you might wonder, why are we doing this? Qigong for easing the liver. So This would be inhale and then exhale. After that, just breathe normally, passing the eyes. Of course, the eyes are the opening connected with the liver. Passing stomach 12, circling 6 times on liver 14. So we're just breathing normally. And then bending 4 times to each side. So remember that our exercises are designed to get a good stretch or compression of the organ, not designed to exhibit our contortionist-like flexibility, okay? So not to see how far you can bend, but just to give the liver a nice stretch and then a nice compression over here. Slide down to liver 13 and circle 6 times in each direction. Slide down to below the navel, bend backward and forward 3 times. So inhale back, exhale forward. Slide the palms down along the liver channel on the inside of the legs. Point the middle finger to liver 1. And the knees, and lift the ball up over the head. Now Qigong and Bai Hui connect. Eyes, stomach 12, liver 14 and circle. Bend. Slide down to liver 13 and circle. Slide down to just below the navel, bend backward and forward 3 times. Slide the palms down the inside of the legs and point to liver 1. Bend the knees and lift the ball up over the head. Now Qigong and Bai Hui. Eyes, stomach 12, liver 14. Liver 13. Slide down to below the navel. Slide down the inside of the legs. Point to liver 1. Bend the knees. Lift the ball up over the head. Now Qigong and Bai Hui. Eyes, stomach 12, liver 14. And bend. Liver 13. And backward and forward. Slide the palms down the inside of the legs. Point to liver 1. Bend the knees. Lift the ball up over the head. Now go in by way. Eyes. Stomach 12. Liver 14. Bend. Liver 13. Bend backward and forward. Slide down the inside of the legs. Point the middle finger to liver 1. Bend the knees. Lift the ball over the head. Now go in by way. Eyes. Stomach 12. Liver 14. Bend. Liver 13. And bend backward and forward. Slide down the inside of the legs. Point to liver 1. Bend the knees. Lift the ball over the head. Now go in by way. Eyes. Stomach 12. Liver 14. Bend. Liver 13. backward and forward. Slide down the inside of the legs, point to liver one. One more. Lift the ball over the head. Now Qigong and Bai Hui. Eyes, stomach 12, liver 14. Bend. Liver 13. Bend backward and forward. Slide the palms down the legs, inside of the legs, point to liver one. And bend the knees, we'll straighten up, place the Lao Gong on the lower abdomen. Oh, any comments or final questions for today on the liver, Qigong freezing the liver? So remember the quiescent mind in Qigong. So the mind's focused on the exercise. And in this case, of course, here the mind focus underneath the palms, feeling in the hypochondrium here, of nice gentle stretch and then compression. Sliding down the legs, the mind's underneath the palms, and pointing to the liver one, the mind's in the liver one. We're not touching liver one with the finger, just pointing to from maybe an inch away, but the mind would be in the liver one. And of course then mind connection, Lao Gong Bai Hui, mind connecting eyes and Lao Gong, mind connecting stomach 12 and Lao Gong. Okay. I think I mentioned last week that a really ideal time to do this exercise would be before you get into the shower. Because then you would have, if you have skin on skin contact, that's ideal for the stimulation of the qi in the liver channel. Also, without shoes and socks, the middle finger is able to make a better connection with the liver one. So that would be really the best time, and to form a habit. It's very good to form a habit of doing the Qigong a particular time. So you create the habit that really helps with the let's go over tiger, first 3 tigers. The tiger wakes up and looks all around for food. The tiger clawing and the tiger pouncing. So we use, in this case, we have two sounds because when we're exercising the liver, in order to have symmetrical effect with the external exercises, we also work the spleen. And of course, the spleen sound is hoo, hoo. So we're using liver sound and spleen sound in the tiger exercises. Let me go right to the side and make sure I'm in the frame. Okay, so starting with the feet together. So if you were performing this, you would make it a little showy, for want of a better word. The people watching you, you step out and then you start, okay? And then when you step in and out, okay? So that's what I'll be doing here. As I start with the legs together, and then I'll step out to hip width distance, and I'll start circling. And I've got the tiger claws. And the purpose here is that I will gradually loosen up and stretch the area of the hypochondrium here. When I get up with the claws about shoulder height, I'll start to activate the legs. Breathing with me, inhale and exhale. So now, I'll turn my left foot out 45 degrees. I'll step to center and step out. In and out. In and out. Now here, as I stretch to the closed side, you should feel this nice horizontal stretch across the liver. In and out. Sitting back, circling, and spleen sound. Whew. Sitting back, looking all around for food. And circling, liver sound. Shoo. Now I'm ready to take a step forward and change legs. Inhale. Turn the foot out. Step to center, step out. Exhale. You could add the sound here if you wish. Shoo. In. So we go first to the open side. Out. In. And we go to the closed side. Out. In. Out. Now we sit back to the open side and circle, looking all around for food. Shoo. So here's too early to make the sound. Here's okay to make the sound. So relax now. Shoo. Sit back on the closed side. Out. Shoo. Sit back. Open up the hypochondrium. And then exhale. In first to the open side. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Sit back to the open side and circle. Two. Sit back to the closed side and circle. Shoo. Sit back. Open In, out. In, out. In, out. Sit back to the open side and circle. Shoo. Sit back to the closed side. Whew. Sit back. Okay. And that's tiger wakes up and looks all around for food. Questions on that movement? Looking all around for food. Remember these muscles that go down the neck and under the rib cage. And you turn your head to the side, you can feel it all the way down here to spleen and liver. Okay? So it's important to look all around for food. Helps the neck for itself, and also helps the liver and spleen because of the muscles running down here. The tiger clawing. So now imagine we just finished looking all around for food. Sit back. And now I'm going to twist a little bit to the side. So let me show you from the front here. Now this is before I turn my front foot out. Now I want to turn my front foot out because I want it to be at a 45-degree angle when I step forward. But before I turn the foot out, I'm going to get this stretch on the liver. Because if I turn my foot out, then the stretch is gone. Now turn my foot out, sit back a little bit more, turn my foot out, pivoting on the heel, and do the tiger clawing. Exhale and liver sound. Dr. Yang does kind of like Tai Chi. His version of Tai Chi here, about right at the ear. I like to get a little higher and stretch. And then, like clawing down, like you're shredding your prey. Okay, so. Let me start on this side. Okay, so sit back, turn. Now I'll sit back the weight a little bit more, turn my front foot out, and spleen sound. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Liver sound. In, out. I have not turned my foot yet. Lifting the elbow up, but it's tense, just to stretch. In, now I lift, now I turn my foot. And out. In, out. In, out. Out. In, and out. In, out. In, and out. Okay. Questions on tiger clawing? I think I mentioned last week that the pouncing, if you actually get a good pounce, you get a stretch on the hypochondrium that, in my feeling, you cannot match if your feet stay on the ground. So when we pounce through the air, we get this lift here that just isn't replicatable if you don't, if you're not pouncing. Okay. So clawing. Now, so circling as we did in the Tiger Wakes Up. I'm going to draw my rear foot up to center, and I'm going to pounce. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Now turn my front foot out, step up to center, and I'll pounce. Okay. I think I pounced out of the frame. Okay, I'll do a couple more. So, circle, circle, and now turn my foot out because I want to, I don't want to have this foot straight ahead. It's going to be the rear foot of the pounce, actually the propelling foot of the pounce. So I'd like to have it at a 45-degree angle. And I'll step to center, and I just touch down lightly, because this is going to be the lead foot of the pounce. And I can't have weight on it, otherwise it's going to be awkward. So I just touch down lightly. And of course I've lost my momentum, so let me start from the beginning. 2. Now, if you can imagine, you're pouncing on the back of a water buffalo, so you're stretching in the air like this and clawing when you come down. Let me do a forward pounce. Okay, so I lose points for the landing there, but you can see the stretching here. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Although this is a little bit athletic. And so if, I don't know if you were teaching this in like an old folks home for people who are really old, not like only 73, that you might want to modify it because of course you have to beware of bone density issues and potential for falling. Moves for Tiger, and then there's the spring season routine. We probably should start with that next week. And there's one more routine from Master Leong, the shoe sound for easing the liver. It's really simple, and then that's our repertoire for the spring Qigong, giving you the bonus of the inhaling the green Qi. And of course, the healing sound is always in the repertoire for the organ Qigong. You can do the healing sounds for just one organ at a time, or you can do all 6 healing sounds as a complete routine for themselves. All right, so thanks for coming today.